In this session I shall demonstrate how to use the revealer and spotlight tools. Now, as you can see, I've opened up a flip chart here. If I go back to page 1, I'm now going to assign a revealer to the front of my presentation. So if I pop up the browser menu here, I want to select the property browser, go into Tools, and go into the drop down menu of Page Tools and click on Revealer Tool. Now that's automatically assigned the Revealer tool to my page from top to bottom, and I can move it up and down. If I wanted it to go from left to right, I click on Revealer Mode, and again you can have it from right to left, or you could even have it from bottom to top. So let's set it back from top down. If I go on to the next page, you'll see that it's set the revealer onto the next page. However, it's set it halfway down the page. That's because I've previously clicked on this little icon here. If I left click and go Save Revealer Position, I've saved the revealer so it just reveals the title, and then I can gradually, one by one, reveal my session objectives. Now, if I decided I didn't actually want the revealer to be on my second page, so let's go back to the first page. If I decide I don't want it on the second page at all, I have to be on the second page and effectively turn that off. So if I go back into Property Browser, Tools, if I go into Page Tools, the drop down menu, and I go Tools Off, that will now take the revealer off of the page and therefore all the other pages afterwards. But it still remains on the first initial page that I set it on. If you want to change the colour of your revealer, you go to File, Settings, click on Effects, left click on the colour so it brings up the colour palette, and you can change the revealer to any colour you choose. I'm just going to pop that back to blue. So that's how to use the revealer tool. I'm now going to demonstrate how to use the spotlight tool. Now the spotlight, as you can see, I'm moving around the spotlight here, and I'm changing the size and dimensions of the spotlight. Now I've previously put this on my page, and you do that in exactly the same way as you would do with the revealer tool, by accessing the property browser, going to Tools, but this time in your drop down menu you're going to select Spotlight tool, and that brings up your spotlight. To move your spotlight around, you need to be outside of the spotlight to move it around your page. If you want to change the dimensions of your spotlight, you need to be inside, and it operates on a sort of north, south, east, west. There you go. So you can move your revealer and make it any size that you choose, but you have to be outside the spotlight in order to move it around your page. Like with the revealer, you can also change the colour of the border of your revealer in the same way. You go to File, Settings, but this time you click on the spotlight tool. We can change the colour, and it will change that for you. Now if you want to, you can see this is my toolkit, and I've actually saved the revealer and the spotlight into my area. Now that's a square spotlight. I should mention that you can actually change, you don't have to have a circular spotlight, and if you go into the property browser in the same way, Tools, and go down to your drop down menu, you click on your spotlight tool, but if you go to spotlight mode, you can change that to a square spotlight, or you could have a solid square, so good for hiding and revealing things, or you could have a solid circular. So there are your options. She'll pop this back to circular spotlight, And there you have it, the revealer and spotlight tool.